let's do a little work with, I'm going to create a new JavaScript file. And I'm going to call this one quiz. Whoa. I'm going to go here and go File, Save As. Quiz.js. So we're going to learn about conditional statements now. So let's take a look at it. I have, let's start off with, I'm going to create a variable called score, right? And I'm going to start our score off at 0. Sounds fair enough, good place to start. So what I want to get is from the user, I want to ask them a question. And no better question than to ask them about food. What is my favorite food? Huh? And so let's take a look what they'll say to that, right? So they'll answer what's their favorite food, and what I want to do is I want to give them points if they get it right, and if they don't get it right, I want them to suffer the consequences, right? So this is the way that I write a conditional statement. So a conditional statement is like, if this happens, reward them. Otherwise, punish them. So if, and then I'm going to write a little thing there where this is inside these brackets is where I'm going to say if user answer, and this is the way that we say equal, right? It's 3 equal signs. Is this equal? If they say back to me ribs, right? If they say back to me, I want to give them a point. So the code inside of these little curly Q brackets will only run if this is true, right? So I'm going to say document.write. That's right. Let's see if this works. Before I do that, I've got to open up my HTML and change this to now be running off the quiz JavaScript. Okay. Okay, the program says, what's my favorite food? And I'm going to say ribs. And it is giving me all this other stuff. Those should not be connected anymore. Quiz.js. Okay, I don't know what was happening before. I think it was remember the browsing history of it, right? So it was opening up the an old version of the page, and I didn't refresh it or something. But anyway, now if it says what's my favorite food, I can say ribs, and it should prompt back that's right. I want to come up with another thing, right? So the other thing that could happen is, let's just piggyback right here. Else, I want to write document.write. I want to write that's wrong. You really screwed up. Okay. See how that runs. So now, when I run here, they'll say, well, that is my favorite food. And if I say, gotta be Twinkies, they'll say, that's wrong, you really screwed up. But if I say ribs, it'll say, that's correct. So everything's working as planned. You know how I added that score thing? What I'm going to do here is if I get it correct, I want to give us a point. So I'm going to say score equals score plus 1. And here I'm going to say score equals score minus 1. So they're going to lose a point. It's worse than just get it wrong. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to put in those the semicolons there. And let's see how it runs now. for me to view my score after this, I'm just going to put a quick alert box and say your score is, and then I'm going to do a little plus sign, and I'm going to say the variable score right there. And a little colon there, why not? All right, let's see here. What's my favorite food? Peanut butter. And it's going to say your score is now -1 points. And then update that. Right? But of course, if I get it wrong, correct, and I say ribs, it's going to say the score is 1. Okay, now let's get to the annoying part. What if I say ribs like that with a lowercase r? It's going to say I got a -1, and may God have mercy on my soul. There's a way around that. If I want to get rid of all this cap-sensitive stuff, watch what I'm going to have to do here. So, you know how there was those, like in the math one, right? Math dot ceiling. That dot ceiling was a move that said round up. Dot random, create a random integer. That dot stuff is going to be important. So for this quiz, what I'm going to do is I'm going to alert. Let's see here. Before here, I'm going to say I'm only going to accept answers that are all capitals, right? Ribs, which may seem, I mean, that's ridiculous. No one's going to write in all capitals. But what I'm going to do right before I get the answer from it is I'm going to help them by transforming their answer to all capitals. So I'm going to say the variable user answer is now going to be equal to whatever it was before, but I'm now going to do dot to upper case. Okay, and then you're going to close it with a little parentheses like this and a little one of those. Okay, and you guessed it, right? Basically, what this dot to uppercase is going to do is it's going to take whatever their answer is, whatever it was, and it's going to make it all uppercase. So now when I run this thing and I say, what is my favorite food? And I say, so R-I, capital B, capital S, it's still going to read that as correct, right? You probably guessed it. If I did to lowercase, I could do all ribs in lowercase, and that would totally work too. All right, cool.